What's up, guys? Today we got a really cool video, something that has been needed to be shot for a long time now. We're gonna be fitting a XXIO set and seeing if it actually makes that big a difference.
Yeah, this is a brand that nobody talks about, and in fact they need to be talking about it. So we have a very special guest with us today. We got Larry. How long you been golfing, Larry?
Oh, 50 years.
50 years. So we don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but how old are you?
I have to confess, huh? 82.
82.
82.
All right. And would you say you've lost some club head speed over the last few years?
Yeah.
Lost some distance?
Yeah, I hate to admit it.
Yeah, so Larry's not old. He's seasoned. Very seasoned golfer, we're going to say.
And by the way,
all right to say
That's
that?
very, very forgiving.
yeah, I've been golfing with Larry probably 10 years now, and he's one of the most consistent players I play with. So he's not hitting it a mile, but the same consistent shot every time, which is awesome.
So we're going to talk about the XXIO technology. We're going to see if we can get some speed back in Larry's swing and actually see if these clubs make a difference, or are they all hype? Only one way to find out. We're going to test them in the simulator. Let's go. All right, don't forget, if you guys are in the Denver, Colorado area, come to our showroom. If you're not local and you need help with some of these lightweight, ultra lightweight clubs, you can always email us right here or call and text us at this phone number right here above my head. That's how you can get a hold of us. All right, so let's talk technology a little bit before we hit. We have Larry bring in his clubs that you've been playing for how long?
Oh, probably close to 15 years.
15 years. So obviously we should see some advantages just in the new technology over the last 15 years, so that should help club head speed, and then also going to these ultra lightweight clubs. Let's talk about them a little bit before we have Larry hit them, just very quickly talk some technology.
Okay, so Trevor, when we talk XXIO, tell us a little bit about the different lines that they have within XXIO.
Okay, so essentially they make men's and women's clubs. They're actually really, really popular for women's clubs. And I'm going to talk about why lightweight clubs are good, even if we're not getting up there or seasoned, so to speak. They actually are helpful for a lot of different ways. So the XXIO is part of the Srixon conglomerate family, so there is some Srixon technology in these clubs. All right, so when we have lightweight clubs, obviously that lighter weight can allow us to swing the club a lot faster. The problem is there's a lot of brands out there that make lightweight clubs, but how do we create an ultra lightweight club without it feeling like a pool noodle? Because we can make a really lightweight club, but our dispersion can be terrible. We could be sending it all over the golf course because it's too much of like a pool noodle.
You still need stability.
We need stability. So XXIO is claiming that they're the best in the ultra lightweight technology because they can use a higher grade raw materials, specifically in the shaft. And what that does is to create that stability with an ultra lightweight raw material. In order to get both, essentially we want the stability of a rebar, concrete rebar, but we want the ultra lightweight flex of like a foam, so to speak. Well, it costs extra with raw materials to be able to produce those type of results. And that's essentially what XXIO is saying. So they have three lineups. They have the X, they have the 13, and the Prime. So the Prime is going to be the most ultra lightweight. That's what we're going to try with Larry. And so essentially, if with the driver, if you're 95 miles or under, you're a great candidate for XXIO. But it's not just about lightweight. And look at this. I like this word. See this? What word did they use here? Seasoned players. So they know the right way to phrase those terms. So essentially, another big component of not just swinging the club faster, but what we can do too, another way to create distance is get the ball in the air. So some of the technology in these irons can help produce a good ball flight. And that's why I say it's not just for seasoned players. It could be for new players, players that don't swing a club very fast, players that struggle getting the ball in the air. Maybe we've had surgery or limited mobility and we can't generate the club head speed we want. There's a lot of different ways that we can produce a better result with the XXIO product. So that's what we're going to try to do today. that's just a little bit of the technology. I didn't talk about it too much, but essentially what we're going to do is get Larry a baseline with his existing, you said 15-year-old 7-iron, 12-year-old?
Just short of that, I think.
Okay.
But yeah.
So we'll establish a baseline and then see if we can generate some distance with the XXIO product. So let's start with his existing 7-iron.
Okay, so like Trevor said, when we think XXIO, we want increased ball speed, we want ball flight. All of those things are going to create the ball going further and then better numbers throughout your swing. So that's the goal with XXIO. The different series obviously will fit different swing speeds, but what we're going to do right now is baseline. Baseline to what Larry knows best, and that's his 7-iron. So
we had Larry warm up a little bit ahead of time. So we set the green at about 120 yards. He's playing a Dynamic Gold R300 shaft, which is a heavy shaft, about 127 grams. So he's in a fairly heavy shaft. So when we get over to the XXIO, it's gonna feel a lot different because we're gonna shave probably 2/3 of the weight just in the shaft. Don't be nervous, Larry. Also, we have Larry hitting the Q star. So this is a big mistake a lot of players make too, is they're playing tour balls, or they're playing balls that are too hard for them. So that's another little tip on how we can gain more distance, is play a tour grade softer ball. All right, Larry, so we had Larry hit about 6 or 7 good ones. Didn't really have any mishits, but Larry doesn't really mishit the ball anyway, right?
That's a stretch.
No, you're always down the middle. So ball speed, his 7-iron, he's averaging about 80 miles an hour on ball speed. Spin rate's about 4,000. Descent angle's 36. We'd like to get that up a little bit if we can. He's averaging about 103 yard carry with 121 rollout with the 7-iron. So you said ideally you like your 7-iron to go about 130.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can increase that. So we're going to start with the XXIO Prime 7-iron. So as I mentioned, 120 some grams of weight in Larry's existing shaft. He's playing the old Mizuno's MX23, really good iron head. Mizuno makes a really good iron, but I think we can increase some distance with this XXIO Prime, and we're going down to 44 grams. So we're shaving 2/3 of the weight just in the shaft. So it might feel a little different. It might take a little bit to get used to, especially since you've been playing this so long. But let's see what happens. How's it? Talk to me about how it feels initially, first few hits.
It feels flush,
Yeah?
and
Does it feel
much lighter.
Does it feel too light? Like you kind of lose stability with it, or no?
No, I do not. I feel like I'm still controlled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we go over some numbers? Okay. Larry's existing 7-iron, he's averaging about 80 miles an hour on his ball speed. Okay. We moved him to the Prime. He's averaging 87. So we added 7 miles an hour of ball speed. Okay. That's good. That's quite a bit. Big jump. Spin rate, 4,000. It's a little low with the 7-iron. Almost 48. So we've increased our spin rate. So that's good. Now here's the one thing that can really add distance is getting the ball in the air and coming down with a steeper descent angle. That's also going to help the ball stop on the green. Larry was a little low with his existing 7-iron, 36.7, 42. So now we're almost coming in at a 45-degree angle, which means when the ball hits the green, it's going to stop. Now the most important thing we want to look at is total carry, more than actual yards finished. Look at this carry difference, 103 to 120. So gained 17 yards of carry. That's probably 2 clubs, right? 17 yards, about 10 yards a club.
Yep.
So now if you're approaching a green, instead of hitting a 7, you can hit a 9. Is that going to make a difference on the scorecard?
Big time.
Big time. Total carry, 120, 134, so 13 yards of extra, but more importantly, 17 yards in the air. That's
look at that stopping power
huge
too.
difference. Yeah, better stopping
normal
power.
7-iron ran out almost 17 yards.
Yeah, because they're more like line drives.
Yeah.
So that's why it's running out further. So we want it to hit the green and stop. We don't want it to hit the green and keep going. But let's take a look at the club head. Look at that. That's crazy. Identical club head speed. So we generated 10 yards or 10 mile, almost 10 miles an hour of ball speed with the same club head speed.
Man, you don't think your swing is so consistent? It's down to the decimal.
It's 73.6,
73.6.
But
How does that even happen?
We're more efficient here.
Yeah.
So more efficient, and the XXIOs are helping the ball get in the air and stay in the air. And it's
At
coming
my
off.
age, we need all the help we can get.
That's right. So what did you think, Larry? Give us your feedback. Could you feel it? Could you feel a difference?
Yeah, really. I feel like I'm making better contact, more of a flush hit, and then the numbers are very, very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah. Should we try driver?
Let's do it.
Let's see what driver does. So he's playing the TaylorMade burner, 9.5 degree, which I think we need to get a little more loft in the driver. That's gonna, same principle. We wanna get the ball in the air. 50 gram regular flex shaft. So we're gonna go, again, a little lighter in the shaft. And you have an oversized grip on, that's gonna add some weight too. So I think we get a little smaller grip, that should help too. So let's, again, let me put a sticker on this. We'll get 5 good shots with this. Let me get it for you. I'll tee for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so here's our baseline stats with Larry with his existing burner. We have 105 mile an hour club head speed. Our spin is a little high, so we're getting too much spin with driver, 5,700 RPM. So hopefully we can get that down a little bit, which will contribute to more distance. 148 and 164. So we got to get those numbers up. Club head speed is around 81. 81 in club head speed. All right. I'm really surprised with your 7-iron. We didn't see some faster club head speed. I thought your speed would increase. Do you like the way it feels?
Yeah.
Does it feel like the club's releasing okay and all that with the shaft in there?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try the other XXIO driver. That's one that's a little more stable than the Prime, just the regular one. This is not as big of a difference as I was hoping for. We saw a much bigger difference with the irons, but 2 miles an hour faster on the Prime on ball speed. Spin is a little bit lower. I still would like to work on getting that down, but we're getting about an extra 4 yards of carry. So we are going a little further. I think, our mishits are in there, and I think Larry definitely had more mishits with the XXIO, and I think that's probably just because it feels so different, right?
Yeah.
So I think it might take a little tweaking to get that up. Club head speed is about 0.5 mile an hour faster. So that's contributing to some of it. But more importantly, our dispersion is better. Even though you had more mishits, look at that. It's a smaller circle with the Prime driver. So you're finding the fairway more, even though you were more all over the club face. That's pretty interesting. All right, let's try something with a little more stability to it. Does that feel different?
Yeah.
Does it feel more stable?
Yes.
Less
Yes.
noodly?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so the 12 is performing about identical. I think Larry was swinging or hitting the Prime a little bit faster, a little bit better ball speed. But if you look at this, he was off on the heel with his driver, but severe mishits with both of these. So I think we're gonna have to spend a little more time on driver to get that dialed in. But irregardless, you're hitting it worse on the face with the XXIO, but we're still generating better ball speeds. So once we can actually find the center, get you used to the center of the club face, we should start to see that same jump we saw on the irons. Because we're not seeing that yet, but it's because we're here on the club. For fun, let's just try a little 3-wood for a little bit. Because the 3-woods and hybrids are a really big hit with these brands. All right, that's probably good for a 3-wood. So you're hitting that about as far as your driver. Is that pretty common?
No.
No?
No, I'm disappointed in my distance on my driver earlier.
Yeah.
I thought I hit usually a couple 100 yards. But no, it's not common that I hit this further.
Okay. Well, let's see what this 3-wood does.
Okay.
All right, so 3-wood. Larry's existing 3-wood, 100 mile an hour ball speed, spins a little high, 4,200 RPMs, carry 130, total 153. We put him in the prime, which is the ultra lightweight. He didn't hit that great. We didn't really see any improvement there. But when we put him in the 12 3-wood, look at that, 6 miles an hour faster on ball speed. We lowered your spin rate, which is going to help with yardage. So 149, 174. So you gain 21 yards with your 3-wood. Now, this actually isn't uncommon. We had the last guy we fit for XXIO hits the 3-wood better than the driver.
Yeah.
And it goes further than his driver because that's how good their fairway woods are. Now let's see club head. Oh yeah, look at that. You swung both of them faster than your existing driver, but we had 78, 81, and 85. So that's contributing to faster ball speeds, is you're swinging the club about 8 miles an hour faster than your existing 3-wood. And you know, that shaft is releasing totally different. So my suspicion is some time on the range that will even jump up even more.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you want to try now? You want to try like a 5-wood or something? Or what do you think?
I was thinking McAllen's 18.
That sounds wonderful.
That sounds great. So the 5, 6, starting with 6 iron that come as hybrids.
Okay.
So it's 6 and 5 hybrid. So that's a 5 hybrid. There's a good one.
Yes. Larry unlocked his cheat code.
All right, so that wraps up our session. Larry, give us your feedback on the clubs.
Well, I love the clubs. Gives me a little more freedom and flush, firm feeling. And according to the figures, we're getting better yardage and better spin. So I'm pretty impressed.
How'd it feel like off the face, you know, without data per se? Did it feel better, or is it take a little bit to get used to, probably?
I think
a little bit of both.
Yeah, I've been using these old clubs for probably 12, 15 years, and so it takes some getting used to. But I feel like the feeling that I get today is definitely much improved.
Yeah.
And I really think it's going to work out for me.
Yeah. The most immediate response we saw was in the 7 iron.
Yeah.
You immediately picked up, I think it was what, 10 yards?
No, it was more than that. But the irons, to me, are a no-brainer. Those are your biggest difference, was in your irons.
Yeah.
And your 3-wood.
Yeah, and that's where I need help, is in the fairway and with the irons, but the fairway shots.
Yeah.
Because I don't get the distance that I need
Yeah.
normally at my age with my driver.
Yeah.
So I need that help.
Yeah.
And I think that'll fill the gap for me.
On your second shot, yeah.
And so what was interesting in the irons, in the hybrids, Larry was in the prime series, so that's like the ultra lightweight. But in the fairway woods and driver, you were in the 12 series, which is a tier above it, a little more stability. So we're kind of doing a blended set here between the two. But I think 3-wood and irons, I mean, though 20 yards on the 3-wood.
Yeah.
That's going to make a difference on the scorecard.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
So, well, Larry was able to increase ball speed. He was able to increase club head speed. He was able to reduce spin. And most importantly, the ball was going a lot further. And you weren't hitting it as good on the center of the face. So after we get that dialed in, and I think he could spend a good chunk of time on the range, we'd see a significant improvement. So
Yeah, we also have to keep in mind, he's got 12 years in that driver and wood setup. You're not changing that overnight. Your body's not going to unsync to that harder, stiffer shaft overnight. So even though we saw some improvement, I think we could see some improvement, you know, a couple weeks down the line once you hit some range sessions.
So, XXIO works. It's the real deal. Just ask Larry.
Absolutely.
We'll see you guys
Just
next.
ask Larry.
Larry, who's going to clean up all this mess over here?
Yeah.
Look at this mess we made.
Yeah, well, that's not my job, man.
That's right. We'll see you guys next time.